Hypercar Mountain.
Hi, this is Larry Hatch for another episode of Hypercar Mountain. And today's episode are Audis in the 164 diecast scale. And this is called Building a Collection. And it's partly called that because I'm not really sure my collection's very mature. I had a number of Audis in the past and sold a lot of them. And so now I'm trying to, with more sophistication, maybe a little more money, the advantages of eBay and other sites online, which I didn't have 30 years ago, trying to make a really good Audi collection. And I'm not going to present these 12 or 13 cars as a definitive collection because I know it's not. You can get 60 or 70 different cars, but I'm trying to get the top of the top, so I'm starting with these that are really good. I think for a lot of collectors, Audis are sort of either out of the picture or very much in the back burner, and I was trying to figure that out. And I think the main reason, frankly, is two things. Audi didn't make a lot of inspiring cars for many years, and when they did, they didn't have a great record in the United States. For example, the Audi 4000 was introduced in 1980 in the U.S. with a whopping 76 horsepower. The Audi 80 diesel had 67 horsepower. Yeah. So unless you had one of the rare Audi Quattros, you probably didn't have a car that was going to be faster than a Volkswagen. Kind of at the time, the Audis were, kind of classier Volkswagens, really. And they didn't hold a candle to Mercedes and BMW, and certainly not Porsche, in terms of speed, quality, price, and they weren't inspiring. I mean, Mercedes had all kinds of great cars like the Gullwings and the SEL limos and stuff, and BMW had their M series and just all kinds of great cars. And Audi was not quite as inspiring. So a lot of the older diecasts in Audi are not, they're just kind of slabs of metal. They're not really exciting. Again, if you could get a Quattro, you probably got a nice car. And again, they weren't very inspiring, and I didn't buy a lot of them. I did buy some. The one that I did collect a fair amount of were these Hot Wheels Audi Avis Quattro type cars. And they were pretty nice back in the day. I had a whole collection of them. I think I had about 8 different colors, but I sold them off as a package on eBay. And I think I just have one left. I think it's a chrome one, but I couldn't find it. I think it's just in storage. But anyway, I've sort of rebuilt my Audi collection from scratch with higher quality stuff that I know I had from my inventory lists. And yeah, so there wasn't really a lot going on with Audis in the past, although a couple of the cars I'm going to talk about today I've had for a while, and I recommend those. The first car I want to talk about is this custom. It's an Audi R8, obviously. It's custom painted, custom wheels, and if you look close, it says Bryant 24 Lakers. It was a tribute car, following this very sad, tragic passing of Kobe Bryant. It's not an official product, so maybe I shouldn't have bought it, but it was from a fan who certainly meant well and wasn't overcharging for it. It was a very fair price. And again, there are some cars like that where they're tributes to Kobe Bryant and other people that have passed away. And so I just kind of like the color of it and the quality of it. And again, it wasn't expensive. The guy wasn't trying to make a fast buck. So that's a good car in my collection. Boy, if you look behind, look at how good that custom Ferrari GTO is in the back. Good God, the red one. Oh my God, I forgot I had that one. I've got so many Ferraris, it's just kind of stupid. Our next car is one I really like a lot, and probably a lot of you have this. It's a Matchbox, and it's put down as a Audi R8 2007 model, although the chassis date is 2006. And it's a wonderfully made Matchbox car. Matchbox is doing some premium stuff these days that's out the wazoo. In fact, this car not only has a premium feel, it has a custom feel to it. It's got real rider wheels that are white, and those almost look like custom wheels. In fact, when I pulled it out, I said, "Is that a custom?" I can't remember. No, it is the stock model, and it's a beautiful dark Kelly green or grass green in a matte finish with kind of silvery white stripes and tampos on it. Lots of detailed tampos. In fact, the license plate says 1MB World, and there's a little European flag on there. Enormous amount of detail on this car. And it's really well done. I bought two of them actually, thinking I was going to tear one up and put custom wheels on it, and I've decided not to. I'm just going to trade the one. I can put custom wheels on it, but it's almost wrong to do that. It's such a beautiful car. Speaking of custom wheels, I've been doing a lot of that myself lately, and our next two cars are both based on the Hot Wheels 2019 Audi RS Spider, which is not maybe the best looking of the RS Spiders that are out there. It's certainly one of the smaller ones. This one I literally finished 2 days ago, and it's a very recent color. It's a metallic dark blue, well, maybe a medium dark blue, not quite a navy blue. And I put these lovely WRDC wheels on them in gold, with very fine spokes, a deep silver ring dish on it, and I think that's a really classy car. Oh, by the way, I hope you like my new wrought iron gates. I just acquired those, and I think they look pretty classy. It's not like something you'd have outside a mansion in a really nice house. And I had to super glue them together because they really are, they're cast out of metal, like a die cast, and hand painted. Not that expensive. I think it was like $30 or something. And the next car is the same Hot Wheels, but in white. And this is a custom done by one of my favorite custom guys, Chef Biz, CHEFBIZ on eBay. And I recommend his stuff pretty heavily. He took this white car and put white wheels on it, and I think it just looks smashing. So between the blue with the gold wheels and this white, all-white car, wow, I think you got a really nice find there. The next car is one I had for a while. Sold it. This should be a lesson to you younger or newer collectors. Sometimes you can make a fast buck selling your diecast cars, but if you ever want them back, you're going to pay through the nose. So this is one I probably should have hung on to, because it cost me close to $30 to get it back. It's a Siku, and it is an Audi 100 Avant, and it's a solid car. This thing is built like a tank. It's got a chassis of metal that's like, well, it's like a tank, and it says made in West Germany. That's when the Sikus were made in Germany still. And you notice it's got a beautiful tailgate that comes up. It's got those typical Siku wheels with a white ring on it. Not terribly realistic, but it's a nice car, and it's got a good interior. The interior is black and white. Like the dash and the steering wheel are white, the rest of it's black. So they put some effort into it. It's got clear headlamps back in the time when you didn't get a lot of those. And again, it's a solid car, heavy as a tank. And for that generation of Audis, the 100 and series, you don't find a lot of them any better than that. The next car is one I just recently got. It's based on a Hot Wheels RS5 Coupe, and it's got a 2018 chassis date. It's one of the more recent Audis that they've come up with, and you can sort of tell that by the size of the grill. You know, the newer Audis have huge grills now, just like BMW's gone back to. And this is a custom, beautiful black car, just wonderful, with custom wheels. It's kind of a muted, it's hard to say what that color is. It's kind of a muted brownish chrome, almost a copper chrome under some lights, but it's more of a kind of a beige chrome and sort of understated look. I liked it. I got that from an eBay custom place. Let me get this right. Purple Pigeon Bricks at eBay. And what was great about it is they offered me a choice of wheels. I opted to go with the original ones in the picture because I wanted something understated, but they offered me a choice of some really fancy gold and silver wheels, very high quality. So unlike a lot of custom shops, they were offering me a choice of wheels before the car was purchased, or after the car was purchased, you know, before they actually spec'd it. And I thought that was a nice touch. I think if more custom people could do that, that would be great. Because some of the custom guys will do different wheel versions, but then they'll sell out. Well, these guys were willing to make one just for me, and again, a very reasonable price. But I think that's a nice blacked out look with, again, understated wheels, real classy car, and I'm glad I got that. And when these custom dealers offer you a choice of wheels or even paint in some cases, go with it. It's sort of like having your own Lamborghini ad personam shop. Lamborghini's ad personam shop is where you go in there and pick the leathers and the wheels and the colors and make it the car your own. If we can do that in diecast, hey, so much the better. I'm getting long-winded here. Our next car is a huge boy. This is another Siku from the past, and based on the amount of dust I had to clean off of it, I've had it a while. I used to be able to buy Sikus in a local super drugstore. Can't remember the name of it. It was just something local, but it was like a supermarket that turned into a drugstore, and they had majorettes and Sikus and all the other stuff out the yin yang. And I wish I could find these locally again, but I can't. This is a Q7 4.2 FSI Quattro. And back in the day, the Q7s, actually the Q7s are still out, I think. The Q7s were a very powerful product, and they are big. They're super big. They're sort of the last of the German big SUVs, you know, along with the BMW M8, or is it M8? Yeah, I think it's X8, but there's an M version of it. I don't know. But anyway, these will probably be the last of the big German SUVs. The doors open. It's really nice. You know, it's got those kind of muted gray Siku wheels that are not always the best, but it's a beautiful, beautiful color and a nicely done machine. Just want to give you a little quick humor break here. It says, guess what? I bought an expensive Italian panini maker, and guess what? It also makes Paganis. Hey. And I'll be doing an episode on Paganis in the near future, by the way. But anyway, I thought that was a slight bit of humor. The next car is one I'm really happy to have gotten. It's made by Paragon, and that's sort of a new brand to the lineup of 64s. And this is a RS Q8. which is bigger than the Q7s. And Paragon is a new company. They make some really nice things. I've got a BMW SUV from them. Extremely high quality. Look at those wheels. They roll well. The chassis got enormous amount of detail, like nobody's doing anymore. Everything is painted beautifully, front and back. And there's like, if you look carefully, there's black trim around the windows. That took a lot of effort. Black mirrors. But look at that color. It's a beautiful metallic lime. And it really stands out in the collection. And just go on eBay or wherever your favorite dealer is and search for Paragon 64, and you'll get some really nice diecast. I'm planning on buying pretty much everything they have. They're just great cars, and they're different. The next car is kind of a weird one. And sorry, it's kind of hard to photograph because it's a really dark plum. Almost call it blackish purple if you wanted to. It's a resin car. Again, I told you guys that I've made some exception for resin cars when I can't get a die cast because they're really well made and they fill gaps in the collection. I can tell this one was handmade. There wasn't a lot of them because there's like little spacers between the wheels and the wide body kit, so they really worked hard to get those wheels thick. Rather than put thick wheels on, they put spacers in there, which is kind of hard to do sometimes. And I want to get the name of this one absolutely right. So I pulled up my eBay account here. This is made by Darwin Pro. It's an RS6 DTM metallic purple. And with shipping, it was $55.77. And if you're not used to resin cars, they can be expensive because they're limited editions. This one, came on one of those fancy slabs, and it came in a lot of colors, but I didn't have anything in purple, so kind of went with that. It also comes with an aerodynamic roof rack, and I probably need to explain a little bit about these if you're not familiar with Audis, and I wasn't. The RS6 is basically a super hot SUV, and DTM is a series of Audi racing cars that have wide body kits and stuff like that, and usually spoilers. So some custom coach builders decided we're going to make an RS DTM. It's not an official car as far as I can determine, but they're going to make an RS6 with the DTM looks. That is wide body kits, carbon aero, bigger spoiler, wide wheels. Like I say, this one does not have wide wheels. It just looks like it does because of the spacers. It's basically like a kind of like Brabus would do with Mercedes, or Alpina would do with BMW. It's like an elite, or Mansouri with Rolls-Royce and Bentley, or Lamborghini Urus. It's like an elite sporty SUV for the very rich, and they're super tuned and super kits. And let's see here. I think I pulled a graphic off the internet to show you guys what these can be. And like I said, there's different manufacturers, different price ranges, different packages. This car seems to be based on the DTM made by Sturtran and Carcello. God, I can't read that. Let me get this better. Sturtman and Carcello. Yeah, that's it. And I pulled this off of one of the websites that looks at Audi customs. And this is a car that does 0 to 60, an SUV that does 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. It's got 1,068 horsepower. Again, this is not your your, I was going to say wife's, but not your grandmother's SUV, let's put it that way. The ones I've seen on the web, the older ones are about 700 horsepower, but most of the new ones are between 8 and 1,000 horsepower. This is a little more. Let's see, it generates 267 horsepower per liter. Woo! And yet weighs only 1950 kilograms. For a big SUV, that's not a lot. A lot of carbon fiber stuff goes into that. And if you can see that little picture there, that's sort of the same car, except with the racing kind of form. You can buy it to look like the DTM racing cars, or you can buy, a more civilian version of it, so to speak. And no, I'm not wrong. This is $400,000. They're commonly $200,000 to $450,000. So again, you can get a Rolls Royce or Lamborghini Urus or a lot of really great SUVs for this amount of money. And you may know, some of you may know that Hennessy out of Texas makes 1,000 horsepower Jeep Cherokee Trailhawk. I think it's about 150,000, something like that. So this is even a step up. It's got even more horsepower, all kinds of custom interiors with leathers, you name it. You basically build it yourself. So this is basically like a Rolls Royce version of an Audi SUV, if one is inclined to such things. So I just thought I'd mention that. And again, this is why I went with a resin car, because you couldn't get this elsewhere. Our next car is another Siku, and it's an R8 Spider. It says Spider, but it's not a convertible, is it? Does the top come off? No, top does not come off. Okay, it says Spider, but I think they're confused because it is actually, it does appear, the car at least doesn't appear to have a removable top. It's got opening doors. So let's call it the regular RS. I liked it because the contrasting panels on the side were silver, which worked well with the black exterior and the red seats. I thought that was a nice combination. And the wheels are a little more shiny than a lot of Sikus are. Really a classy car, well built. And you could actually get those side kind of B-pillar panels, which is characteristic of this car. You could get them in a lot of different colors, a lot of carbon fiber. You could get a green car with yellow panels. I mean, whatever you wanted. But this one is pretty tasteful, and I thought that was good. The next one is, again, another Siku. This is an Audi R8 Spider. This is a real Spider. It's a convertible. Spider basically means convertible. Spider, Cabrio, convertible, they all mean pretty much the same thing. This is very similar to the one we just looked at, the Coupe. Although, because of the convertible top, which is automatic, they don't have those overt side panels. Although you could get them on there, people usually kept it in body color. And again, these are a little shinier than Siku wheels used to be, so it's a good look to me. It's a solid car. I like the silver painting. Around the windshield. It's pretty nice, and I think that's a really choice car to have in a collection. The next car is one I've had for a while. It's also a Siku. They do really good Audis, obviously. It's a TT, which is their little kind of rounded Beetle-like car in the 3.2 Quattro version. And let's see here. Doesn't have a chassis date, that's right. And I liked it because it was just, I wanted some TTs and bought a number. A lot of them were crap, and I'm not showing them. The doors open. I really like this color. It's kind of a muted, dull. I don't know how you call it. It's kind of a grayish green, a very low saturated green, almost a sage green, but not quite as light. Maybe kind of a grayish mint green, you could say. It's way different than the lime one you see to the left there. And it's got a tan interior, which looks really fantastic, especially if the doors are open. It's painted beautifully. Look at that grille. The Audi rings in silver, and then the grille is ringed also in silver paint. The tail lamps are red. Again, a silver Audi logo on the back of it. It's a great car, and just a good one. The last car I'm going to go over is another Siku Audi TT, one I don't have, but I'm planning to getting. I was going to order it before this video, but it would have to come from overseas, so I didn't want to wait. And this is another Siku, well, I guess they call it the Roadster, the TT Roadster, Cabrio convertible, whatever. But it's kind of in a muted silver chrome, and with red lamps on the back, removable hardtop. It comes in several colors, including a light blue, but I think the silver one is really great, so I'd recommend that for a collection as well. Please comment, please subscribe, and I'll be doing these videos more often, and I'm going to go through all the major manufacturers, and what's kind of held me up a little bit is I'm trying to get my collection to where I can pick the best 10, not be ashamed of those.
Hypercar Mountain.